Hello everybody, it's Crystal from Android Authority, and I'm here in New York City at the Motorola and Verizon event where the new Droid Turbo 2 and new Droid Maxx 2 were announced. The Droid Turbo 2 hands-on is live on this channel, so make sure you head on over there to check that out. But first, let's take a look at the more affordable new Droid Maxx 2. So the Droid Maxx 2 is looking to be pretty much the same phone as the Moto X Play that has been available in other countries for a couple of months, but finally it appears this is a Moto X Play rebranded for the US. But you will have to be a Verizon customer as this is a Verizon exclusive. We've got the metal around the sides, along with this rubbery material that feels similar to that on the Moto X Pure, maybe a little softer to the touch, and has more of a scaly pattern to it. Now this Droid Maxx unfortunately is not able to customize through Moto Maker, but this back panel can be swapped out for another, including 4 other colors, so at least you won't have to be locked into one color. Now the original Droid Maxx had fantastic battery life, and once again on the Droid Maxx 2, it seems that we can expect the same. Motorola claims the phone can last for 48 hours of moderate use with this 3630 mAh battery. So that's not 48 hours of having the phone on standby, that's 48 hours of actually using the phone, which sounds very impressive. And so far it seems to make sense, as not only does the Droid Maxx 2 have a huge 3630 mAh battery, but it packs a 5.5-inch HD display. So this display probably won't be as power hungry as some Quad HD screens out there, so this, mixed with its huge battery, makes the phone look very promising. The screen is not shatterproof like the phone it was announced alongside with, the Droid Turbo 2, but the panel is covered in Gorilla Glass 3, so very minor drops and bumps should be able to hold up. The 5.5-inch HD IPS screen itself looks very good so far. Colors look good, and by just taking a stroll through settings with its white background, they look very accurate without much of a weird tint or hue to them. It doesn't seem to get too bright, but we'll have to test it further in different lighting conditions. Inside the Droid Maxx 2, we have a Snapdragon 615 processor, 2 gigs of RAM, and 16 gigs of storage, but you do have access to a microSD card slot up to 128 gigs. Basically, the Droid Maxx 2 is identical to the Moto X Play, which we actually found to be great in performance even with its lower ended specs. With this being a Motorola phone, you can expect near stock Android. Although unfortunately, instead of running Android 6.0 Marshmallow out of the box, we have Android 5.1.1 Lollipop, so hopefully we'll see this update soon. Along with this near stock Android experience, Motorola's nice features are here, like Moto Display that alerts you of missed notifications when the phone is slightly moved, and the twisting gesture to launch the camera app remains here, although it's the only gesture available. It's a very easy and fun, barely skinned version of Android that Motorola phone owners have come to love, and surely the Droid Maxx 2 will be no different. The camera sensors seem to be the same found on the Droid Turbo 2 and the other 2015 Moto X Pure phones, with a 21 megapixel sensor on the back and a 5 megapixel sensor on the front. We do have a front-facing speaker on the bottom of the Droid Maxx 2, so even though it may look like these are 2 stereo speakers, it's really only the bottom that plays sound. The speaker sounds alright in the few moments that we've had with the phone, not the loudest, but loud enough. Overall, the Droid Maxx 2 is turning out to be a great smartphone, with its biggest feature being its very impressive 2-day battery life. We'll have to test it out over the next several days to see exactly where we stand with it, but we can't see how you could go wrong with the Droid Maxx 2 given its price. Now, with no official announcement yet on full price of the phone, we do have confirmed monthly payments for the Droid Maxx 2 at $16 per month. If this is based on 2 years, we can see the Droid Maxx 2 costing around $384. When we have had enough time with this phone to put out an in-depth review, we'll let you know here on Android Authority, along with our website at androidauthority.com, as we are your source for all things Android.